Thanks for tuning in to what's happening in and around Grace Church. We are so grateful that we get to worship alongside you, that we get to seek after God and know Him more and build His kingdom alongside one another. It is a joy and a privilege to have a community of faith that's united before His throne and living on mission. In the last couple of weeks, we have talked about 5 commitments that we would like to ask you to consider. That as a church, we want to be unified in how we're moving forward, in how we're operating together, in both seeking the Lord as well as building His kingdom. And so we have 5 commitments that we have shared with you. And the first one is that you would make Sunday morning worship a priority, that you would be committed to being here at the time of the gathering, at the time of that worship service where we can collectively lift and exalt His name as the one who is worthy and receive from Him as we go back out to do ministry. Secondly, we want to be a church that's known for praying for each other, praying for the elders, the deacons, the pastors, making sure that everyone is covered in prayer as we move forward, knowing that we can't do anything on our own. It is only by God's Spirit that we are empowered to go and to do the work of the ministry, to receive from Him so that we can generously give, which is our third commitment, that we would embrace generosity, that we would be a church that is not selfish and withholding, but in how we treat one another, how we engage with the community around us, how we are generous financially, generous with the things that we own, that we would just be giving of ourselves, ready and willing to step in and long to have them understand that we can be generous because we have a Father who has given us so much more, and we will never be able to outgive Him. Fourthly, we want to gather in small groups, in Bible studies, and in prayer gatherings. We want to be a church that doesn't just gather in the large group time, because it's hard to know and be known during that time. You can connect with some people and you can build relationships, but it takes a long time to do it that way. We want to encourage you, regardless of where you're at in life, whether you're married, whether you're single, if you're 18 or if you're 50, to get plugged in to a small group where you can more intimately be known and also know others. And then finally, we want to ask you to exercise your spiritual gifts, that you would partner with the body in how we aim to build God's kingdom. God has gifted you, and we want to ask you to use those gifts. Please continue to pray over those and consider how the Lord might be drawing you in to commit to that in a new way. If you want to take those home, if you want to have those in front of you, we do have a little pamphlet out on the table in the foyer where you can grab that and take it home with you. It actually has those 5 commitments, but then underneath it also has the joys of church membership and what comes along with that. And so we hope that you'll take that home, that you'll consider these things about how can you be more unified with what's happening here at the church. Coming up this week, we have Pastor Sri Raj, who is a pastor in India. He's a church planter and a trainer of other pastors as they plant churches, and they have just a tremendous testimony of how God has been using them to spread the gospel in India, to reach a people group that is in desperate need of hope, and that there has been a multiplication over the years, and they have had the opportunity to plant church after church and to train pastor after pastor for the ministry. And so he's going to be sharing with us for about 10 or 15 minutes on Sunday morning, and we are looking forward to that. Finally, I just want to wrap up by reminding you that it is Domestic Abuse and Violence Awareness Month, and we have a domestic abuse response team who is ready to meet with those who are hurting, who is ready to speak truth into, to encourage, to guide those who are in need. And so as we just think about what this month represents, let's be prayerful and let's be mindful about those who may be known by us and going through something very traumatic in the background. And if that's the case, how can we move forward well? Because we want to care for those around us. We want to encourage, we want to build up, and we want to keep safe those who are in danger. So if you would be praying for that, as we work through this month and in the coming months, that there would be an increased awareness of that so that as a church we can effectively lean into, speak into, and guide people in those situations. We are looking forward to worshiping with you on Sunday, and we're just excited as God continues to move in this place and we get to continue to be part of his story as he reaches Delta County. I'm excited to worship with you on Sunday.